Figure 2.4, a shift of a supply curve. In the graph, we have P, vertical axis, capital Q. On the horizontal axis, we have S, capital S, superscript 1, indicating the initial supply curve. And we have a shift upwards, and we have the new supply curve at capital S, superscript 2. Effect of a 25-cent increase in the price of hogs. Therefore, where price intersects supply is different. In the initial curve, price at $3.30 per unit intersects at $2.20. Intersects at 220 million kilograms of pork per year. And with the new supply curve, it's 205 million kilograms of pork per year. Caption reads, an increase in the price of hogs from $1.50 to $1.75 per kilogram causes a shift of the supply curve from capital S superscript 1 to capital S superscript 2 at the price of processed pork of $3.30. The quantity supplied falls from 220 on capital S superscript 1 to 205 on capital S superscript 2. Summing supply functions. The total supply curve shows the total quantity of a product produced by all suppliers at each possible price. For example, the total supply curve of rice in Japan is the sum of the domestic and the foreign supply curves of rice. Figure 2.5 shows the domestic supply curve, panel A, and foreign supply curve, panel B, of rice in Japan. The total supply curve, capital S, in panel C is the horizontal sum of the Japanese domestic supply curve, capital S superscript D, and the foreign supply curve, capital S superscript F, in the figure. The Japanese and foreign supplies are zero at any price equal to or less than P, so the total supply is zero. And prices above P, the Japanese and foreign supplies are positive, so the total supply is positive. For example, when the price is P superscript star, the quantity supplied by Japanese firms is capital Q star sub D. Panel A, the quantity supplied by foreign firms is capital Q superscript star sub F. Panel B, and the total quantity supplied is capital Q superscript star equals capital Q superscript star sub D plus capital Q superscript star sub F, panel C. Because the total supply curve is the horizontal sum of the domestic and foreign supply curves, the total supply curve is flatter than either of the two supply curves. Figure 2.5. Total supply, the sum of domestic and foreign supply. If foreigners are allowed to sell the rice in Japan, the total Japanese supply of rice, capital S, is the horizontal sum of the domestic Japanese supply, capital S superscript D, and the imported foreign supply, capital S superscript F. With a ban on foreign imports, the foreign supply curve, capital S superscript F, is zero at every price, so the total supply curve, capital S bar, is the same as the domestic supply curve, capital S superscript D. Figure A, we have Japanese domestic supply. There's P on the vertical axis, price per ton, and quantity demanded, tons per year. We have a steeply sloping upward sloping supply curve. P bar, P underscore bar intersects the vertical axis of the supply curve, but on the Japanese domestic supply curve. P star it's each of these supply curves, the domestic supply and the foreign supply. When you have a ban and no ban in the foreign supply, there's a ban in foreign supply is a straight line, vertical. With no ban, foreign supply is flatter than the initial domestic supply curve, and total supply sums of the S bar band and S no band. Then capital Q superscript star equals capital Q superscript star sub D plus capital Q superscript star sub F, and capital Q is tons per year.